Well, you do. It's not until you actually sit and start talking
No.
like this that you start calculating the years and you look back. You know,
That scares me because I start to remember more now the older I get. Things that I haven't bothered about. It's stupid. But I start to like, yeah, it's coming back more and more like this guest book. I haven't thought about this guest book in never. But then when I was driving in and I saw it because I start, you start to build up the memory a bit,
Yeah.
When did Greg come and when did I meet? Was in England because it must be 94 because that was my first year in arena. That's how I start to figure it out. But it feels weird also it's so long time because when you speak with these young kids in the team, like Max Frick, I remember when I was in England, he was fucking even born in 97. It's weird. I don't want to speak about it. That feel, you know that feeling?
I'm with you. Oh, yeah, I'm with you.
Oh, 92. I'm born 97. Okay, yeah, that's true.
I'm racing with guys in the
Yeah,
thinking
those
that
are even
GP
born.
now that are they're
Not
not
even
even
born.
born. Like, oh man, this is like frightening. And you look back on it, and there's even a larger milestone in my life that's because of your farewell race in Hallstavik.
Yeah, 98. I had the 20 years jubilee, and I.
Oh yeah, 20 years.
And I
not
did
your farewell,
yours.
Sorry, it
I
was
did
the
your
Jubilee.
race. I
Yes.
have retired, but you.
Yes,
I did.
that's
That
right,
was
I'm
my
sorry.
last
Yeah.
proper speedway meeting because I have been retired for 3-4 years, and you asked if I want to ride, and I'm glad I was fit at that time, so I did a few practice. It was good. I scored a few points, and it was good. Nice to be part of it. So that was your testimonial. I did.
Testimonial,
I had that,
yeah.
So I was, and because you call in a few old riders, so we was part. It was not any. We was part in the meeting. It was not any extra heat or something. So we rode. That was my last
That was the
proper
last
speedway meeting I did.
Is
I
that
went
right?
over to the Holloway's, but that was before Malcolm Holloway. He asked me to. He had some I don't know Madwell is. I don't know what if maybe he needs some money. So
Yeah,
I was
sure.
that was also proper meeting, but that was year before or something like that. So
No kidding.
yeah.
Well, I even met and started talking to my wife to be the same night as your
Yeah, okay.
meeting
Yeah,
at the party
Yeah.
afterwards.
yeah,
And it's like, literally, it was that day,
yeah,
that night. So
Yeah.
I will never ever forget
yeah. It
your
was my
Jubilee for
because
for a
we
number
had
of reasons.
we had a big party after, and it was quite funny team. And
Oh,
yeah, oh, I remember so easy. It was easier. I speak with Doyle about testimonials. Oh, so much. But I did one 20 years ago. How it was, I remember. Is this recorded now?
Yes, this is all recorded. And you know what? Now that he asked it, we might as well welcome to the Real 45 podcast, Micke Teurnberg. Micke Teurnberg.
Micke Teurnberg, yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Super cool. And keep going, because you were onto something good there. Yeah,
I remember.
I'm gonna
Now
add to
it's
it,
20 years ago. So now, Jimmy Nilsson, who was part of our team, he about his testimonial and. Yeah, if you fix a good party, I come. Doesn't matter about anything else. Just fix a good party, I'm coming. So and we had a good party. I remember that after that Folkets hus, we have the whole
Yeah, the
whole
whole
Folkets
bar
hus.
and
Yeah,
everything.
whole
down
bar,
there, right?
everything. Yeah.
I just remember when I walked in, the band was playing, and Kai Laukinen
Yeah.
was sitting. I mean, literally, you had the stage there where the band was up on the stage, and then there was a big ass speaker.
Yeah.
There. And Kai was, I don't know if he was sitting on the speaker or just in front of it. That was back when you could still smoke inside too. He had a cigarette in one hand and a cocktail in the other. And he was sitting with that music was just blasting. And he was sitting there like he didn't hear anything. And just smoking a cigarette, having his cocktail. And I sat down next to him. We started chatting for a while. Just sat there and I thought, this is kind of loud. But I'll never forget him sitting there like it was nothing, He was calm, cool, relaxed.
It was late night. I don't say the name, but there was a couple of riders who missed the flight next day, and so it was a bit.
So it was a good party.
It was a good party. Yeah.
Another milestone, like I said, like that. Man, so we're stoked to have Micke Teurnberg on the podcast here, and obviously you and I we have quite a history.
Yeah, with that goal in the 95.
Yeah, I mean, even racing against each other in England.
Yeah.
Prior to that period, meeting each other then, and then the people that have you've been together with, or from Ivan Henry, and
Yeah.
then to being teammates with Josh Larson and
Yeah.
stuff. So we've
Yeah.
all these times it feels like you've been a part of a lot of my career all the way up. Well, you still are part of my career in many ways. So
Yeah, I remember we was up to Credley Heath, what's one of the most famous, I shouldn't say nicest stadium, but it's a famous venue with all this Bruce Pennell history. So I remember, I've been up there to race against you and Billy Hamill, that area, quite good crowd. So that's when you look back. Yeah, but I'm so busy to look back. I don't like to look back, but when I do it now, sometimes it's nice to look back. But I'm not really a look backer. I wish that's my problem. I have so much
in front of you,
in front all the time.
But that's not bad, right?
No, but sometimes I know people ask me, but if we are in Hallstavik, if we win a meeting or even a big meeting that I've been very involved, I when I go out from the gate, I can sort of look at the stadium, went well. When I come down to that roundabout, I forgot everything, then I have some new crazy idea. Then when I come to my house 3 kilometers later, then it's just some new things, and I don't know if it's right or good. Sometimes I wish I could just enjoy a little bit more. Reflect and enjoy. I'm so much, is my way been lately. I'm so into it, and I get some new ideas. Should have done that, and that's good. This idea. So,
That's pretty interesting, because I've never known this about you. I mean, how I've known you too is a pretty quiet, calm, collective person that I met racing back in the day. You're the kind of guy who is, I always liked you because you're never the kind of guy that would just like speak before you thought, and you would never say anything derogatory. You were always really cool the way you would put it. Even if you didn't like something, you have a way. I think I'm the same in that way. Like I couldn't, even if I just think, I freaking hate that guy, or I can't believe what they're doing, and blah blah blah, and why is he doing that? You would be like, well, you always had a really nice way to put it, like basically saying, I don't agree with that, but okay, we can do it like this. And I don't know if maybe that's part of the reason why I always got along with you, in that sense.
But I think I've been changing a little bit over the years as a person.
Sure.
Also, the Speedway have done it because it's quite stressful and people pressure everywhere. So sometimes you must be quite outspoken and just coming on time to think. You must sort of act.
Was it
if you don't act, somebody run over you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the world we live in today, right?
Yeah.
But when you were racing, was it different to have the staff or the mechanics or things like that when you talk to them than you're doing today with the riders?
Yeah. I think that it changed a lot. To be team manager that day was, I think, different. The whole Speedway have changed, in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt.
It's hot in here.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. If I open it,
If
we open it, we can try to do that. But I don't know about the sound.
It gets warm in here. The Swedish summer is killing us.
Yeah.
Should I turn the heater off?
Yeah. Can you do that?
Oh, nice.
I think that the background sound is.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's some way it's changed. But when I become team manager 2010, then because I haven't really, 9 years.
Oh my goodness!
So I just thought, how should I sort of be, or how should I? What sort of I look back to my old team managers, and I did a list like that. Some I remember because they were so good. Some because they were so bad, some I didn't even remember because they were so grey. And then I try to work from that. I think this is what I like. And then it's not sure the riders like it. But I want to be, because I was sitting down very much and took the best from my career, because of course I've been riding for 20 years, so I meet many different characters and leaders, that if you think by yourself. And I try to work from that. I like with him, he was very like that. Or he was what I didn't like with him. I try to don't be, I really think before, then I try to make myself my type of leader. And then I've been working from that. Then of course it's been changing over the years, but that's how I started when I become manager.
Is that something that you think about a lot? Or
not now, but in the beginning I did. In the beginning, because it was quite difficult to jump in as a manager for elite team, and I come in very late and everything. But over the years, of course, I've been sort of, I think you must treat everybody for the person because you are different to him. and to get the best out of you, I must treat you. If you need help with that, then I help you with that, because that's how I do now. I do a little bit too much with some, because I know some of the riders are terrible to organize things, and I help them with tickets and everything. I know it's not really the team manager's job, but I do it, and fixing flights and everything, and that's. So then they get relaxed, and some need help with other stuff, Then I help them with that. That's how I've been working and I know it takes a lot of time, and it's quite. But I think when you come to a meeting, you don't, as a team manager, you don't need to start to screaming. We never do that. Oh, come on, everybody, because they should feel so safe, because everything has been working, the routines to get there. People pick them up, and I fix that, and that is food when they're coming. Then you only need to speak about the match, I don't need to sort of yelling everybody up, because they know, they feel happy when they come, because all the things around has been working, and then they feel trust for me. Then I only say, this is the situation for today, blah blah blah, we need to do this. So I want everybody now, it's like 100% today, and what I say, like, I want everybody to look in my eyes after the meeting and say, you'll be giving everything. It's not, of course, some you must kick a little bit, but it's not my belief. It's like when you go to work, if you have people employed, I try to think the same, that when you come to the work, you don't need to gelling in the morning like that. They should know what they are there to do. They trust you, and they know before, this is my job, I'm here to do this. Then if something goes wrong, then you come in and tell them.
Yeah, but in one way, I think that in an ordinary office or something, you're working every day, so you know what you did last day, and you need to finish this, or you have the weekly planned or whatever. But in your work, it's kind of concentrated to different dates, or they are riding with other leaders, and they have a lot of things to do.
That's unique
other
with
companies,
Speedway.
or what you say, in other teams. So
But
they have different leaders to work under, or.
But that's unique. That is unique about the sport, right? Because we talk about this all the time too. Like, from my perspective, now we're sitting in a room like this, where this guy runs his company, and you're running the whole speedway world from a rider or whatever. Now I'm working with, hypothetically, you today, and then tomorrow I'm working with the other guy in another team, and then the next day you're on your own. So like delegating and figuring out how to do stuff, it's
weird.
Yeah,
but
weird.
I want, when they come to Sweden, they should be relaxed, and they should be happy like that. It's not feel pressure, because I know that we can speak quite open. Like in Poland, it's very hard pressure.
Oh yeah.
We know it, and I know some of these young blokes. I speak with one of our riders the other week, and he said, they call him every day now. Oh, must, and what should we do? Should we buy new engines? And maybe that's not the reason. Give him a little bit of break, come down, and come here a few days before, take it easy. That's what and I think, of course, it's different because they have different team managers, but I want to be where they want to be most if they have a choice. Of course, the money is a big thing. You they pay better there, people, but I still feel like, sometimes it is where you feel happy and enjoy.
But you know what, and I know exactly what you're talking about, and we're always careful on how we step on some of these days because of the way it is today. You can only say so much, you can't do so much. You got to be very careful how you're dressed and what you do, and with timing and all that stuff. But riders in our team even are the same. You got a lot of respect from your riders, because I speak to a lot of your guys traveling back and forth, and they all talk about Sweden anyway. I think every rider in the league talks about they really look forward to coming to Sweden every Tuesday. They look for it because they know they're going to have good tracks. The tracks are safe, of course, too, which is, it's like that around the world anyway. But the pressure is different. The pressure is what pressure you put on yourself to be better. So the clubs are doing what they can to help you to be good. However, we have a young Polish rider in our team as well, who has had a really rough start to the year in his own country, and you can see the look in their eyes when they show up at the racetrack, right? And you probably see this more than one, because you see it amongst many, and I just focus on the couple of guys that we work with. And I'm not the captain of the team, however, I'm a team player, so I work with everyone, and like I've always done. And I can see this kid, the panic, the stress, the nerves, the doubt, and everything that he's got in his eyes, rather than I'm here. I can't wait to win. We're going to succeed. We're going to do this. It was more of like, how much further down can I be pushed? And then slowly but surely, between the management in our club and the riders around, and the attitude, as you know how it is to build a team of guys that are all working together. It's not, I can't win every meeting by myself. You got to have 7 guys to win a match, right? And you got to have a leader. And suddenly, this guy's whole season, it's taken some time, but suddenly he's just turning it around. It's not all about the engine and the equipment and everything you got. It's, you got to have the head around you. And the kid's, suddenly he's just starting to shine. And he comes to the races, he's got a smile on his face, and he's scoring points, but every point that he scores, he comes in as like, I want to make this a little bit better. How can I do that? Rather than, oh no, So it really makes you feel good when you can. Everything you're doing is fantastic, and delegating. For me too. I don't know if I could ever be a team manager. In that sense, because I don't know if I have exactly everything you're talking about now, changing so much from the kind of person that I am, and then trying to get the most out of everybody. And I want to make sure they're all rested up. I want to make sure they have food on the table when they get there. I want to make sure, because I know what I always wanted, but I do everything myself in that sense. My wife always says, you need to hand a few jobs out. You got to quit trying to control everything.
But I know these small things make the whole picture.
Sure.
Yeah, and it can be small things like that. When the rider's coming tired from airport, so in the dressing room I always make sure now we have a cooler with sandwich and some juice, some coffee, or if somebody wants food, it should be there, small things. And after, it's small things, but it can mean a lot, them small things, and if somebody going to be picked up at the airport, there is somebody there to pick them up, they don't have to wait, or somebody. I think the small things make the big things. And also, we speak about it, we had an incident 2 weeks ago, we was in Hallstavik, and I get call, it was, because we have almost the whole team riding in England. It was some strike at Stansted. Oh, we don't know we're going to make it. Oh, we're late. And it was 4 riders there. What can we do? If I know by myself, this should happen for 7 years ago, I should start to panic and, what do, But what can we do? I say, I cannot do anything, you cannot do anything. It's not our fault. I know. Take it easy. Sit down, wait, keep me informed. If worse to worse, then we have to call Svema and say we don't have a team. Yeah. Oh, it's not our fault, It's not your fault. Take it easy. And then eventually they come away, so it was no problem. But I had another ride, it was Max Frick. And he was going flight to Copenhagen. And it was very stressful. He said, I maybe can make it to Hallstavik. I'm going to be there just before 7. But like I say, no stress, Max, because I want you, don't do anything silly on the road. Kill yourself. I want you to be alive even tomorrow. If you miss the meeting, it's not the end of the world. Oh, thanks God for that. But the pressure they live from others. For me, if you miss it, it's just a Speedway meeting. Don't do anything like that. And he turned up there 50 minutes before or 20, I don't remember. But
he made it.
He made it. So, but
with that attitude, I think it's easier to make the most of it to come there.
If I say, you must come, I'll find you. Or,
Then you're angry.
Angriness, and it's your job to be here. He cannot do anything. He's in, he cannot.
It's force majeure, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. So.
And you think the stress in some other places too, where if you miss that meeting or you don't get there in time, then you're out. That will be held against you for quite some time. Or there's another rider in the squad that waiting to capitalize on your mishap, and then that could be the thing that turns your year around. And a lot of these youngsters, they don't have the experience, and they know that you're just a number, right?
So things you cannot do anything about. It's just what can you do?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then if you stress them up, then you don't. It's not any good. I can do screaming and yelling. I know some are like that, panic themselves, but that I've been learning over these years as manager. Things you cannot do anything, you just leave it, because we cannot do anything about it.
Sure.
Try just to do the best. So,
do you absorb the stress that they're having when they're calling you? That's what I do.
Yeah.
I mean, if someone is really stressed on the other side, even if I know that you can't do anything, I take that on me, and then I feel like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
But that I know I don't know if it's because of tiredness or not, but I've been cooler by the years anyway. So this sort of thing stressed me out before, but.
Yeah, but you've probably been good to hide it, and somebody can always push the limit. You know, where you get over the top. However, you've been on both sides of the fence too, so you know.
No, I think that's good, but that's easy to forget the riding things. But I think as a team manager, you should never. It's easy to forget about everything, but I think you must always remember. Like I hate wet, rainy tracks meetings.
Yeah,
so
right.
I try because many forget that the day they stop to ride speed, but I haven't.
Yeah,
I know how you feel.
Yeah, for sure. And that's always the hard part when you swap the hat. You know, and you think I've seen it in the past too when you deal with specific riders. Who are better with it than others.
But I didn't like when it was raining and wet and everything. I know the feeling, and
that still sits in your spine when you see a wet night. You're thinking, "Oh man, how do I tell my guys? Come on, guys, you can do this."
I try to be very like that. No, we don't do anything until everybody agree or we have a good discussion, because I know if you never ride on that sort of situations, then it's hard. It's easy to just tell on the other side of the fence. Just go out and do it, but no. Like, for example, Målilla, I was there as a commentator, and I know from the TV, because I see the picture, but then I see it down actually on the track. Yeah, I see all this mud. No, give it another half hour, sort it out. But I know they're pushing, and of course the Grand Prix, they are so on the TV and everything, but in some way you must have a limit about safetyness and like that, and also it's the World Championship you ride, and of course, I should never feel if I should push a meeting and something serious happen. How should that feel for the people who have been pushing? Because it happen accidents in this sport, and if it's unsafe condition, it's also a bigger risk.
Absolutely.
So I shouldn't sleep good if I be the one who've been pushing, and that's also in your mind sometimes. And that's what maybe the scary things about to be team manager, because you know the boys so well, and crashes happen, and you are there, and you know, because we have a couple of quite big incidents in our team, you know, and when you're running there, you don't know 1 second you speak with a rider and speaking about, and then out on the track, and then 30 seconds later you are the first one nearly there together with the medical people, and that's maybe the backside.
That's the hard part. Huh?
Yeah, it is.
How much does the riders have to say that if they feel that the track is unsafe on like a GP?
Well, if I speak on behalf of the riders, I mean that's it's the inconsistency of a lot of the guys. I think everybody looks at it and thinks, you know, on the night like Molde, you were there, Molde too, Stefan, and you saw that like it was pretty wet there. And they were working hard, you know, trying to get it right. But then I think the covers came off a little bit too early, and then the rain came again, and then they started working on the track, and the rain came again, and it was like, oh man, I think we should just stop. Let's just stop and let the rain stop, because they kept saying it's going to stop at a certain point, but every time they started doing something, it came again. Yeah. And most of the riders are usually pretty good, but there's, in the Grand Prix, for instance, it becomes a psychological game for a lot of guys. So, which I've been in it so long that I understand it, and I can ride in every condition. That's not a problem, as you know. We've grown up racing in so many different conditions in the UK and Sweden and Poland, all over. So you learn, you can ride it and you can do whatever, but it's not ideal. It's not safe. The vision is a problem, and most of the guys are pretty cool with it. But there's always one or two who want to play that. I don't have a problem with it. All right. And you're thinking, okay, you know, listen, this is not just about winning the championship. This is about the whole program. We all want a fair shot at it. And that could go good for you, and it could go really bad for you. But, you know, if everybody could stay together, you would have a much better collaboration with the organizers or the promoters listen, we want to have it like this, and we want to have it like that. But suddenly you get people coming from everywhere, and they're on the one race director, for instance, and he's trying to satisfy everybody, but really his hands are tied. You know, he can only do so much, and then it turns out to be a mess. And whenever you can get all the riders together, and everyone can have just one person that speaks and says, "This is what we want to do. This is how we want to do it," I think that you can have a much better collaboration personally. because the riders they're not all about against the promoters. They want to ride too, because tomorrow's a new day. How do we rearrange this? How do we fix that? There's travel, there's everything. It's a mess, right? So I just feel that it can be a lot better. It turned out to be a little bit crazy there in Molilla again, sadly, because one or two riders didn't want to play ball and work just to hang out. But in the end, you gotta go for it. And I ended up having an off day too, so it's you walk away from it going, man, if we could have just had a little bit more level playing field, it might have been the result could have changed again. But that's racing.
Yeah.
And the weather you can never beat, so it's like no. But also people speak, and I start to be old now, and I remember when I went with my
Never
dad.
say that.
But you think back, but I remember I say it on TV on Saturday. I think it was 77 or something. I went to Gothenburg, see my first world final, and that was pouring down the whole, even the riding in the rain, like it was like, yeah. But you cannot compare the bikes, especially the tires, because people, they always, they rode before, but the speed and the bike was so different. I mean, these bikes, they are like to hold a gun. It scares me sometimes. I tried one of Andreas' bike a few years ago, and I was scared. It's like it's nothing compared to how it was before, especially in bad conditions. It is to play with a gun in your hands.
It can be.
You've been riding all these bikes. If you just go back when you started with the upright bikes, they have so much torque all the way. Like now, it's like forgiving, like that. You could hit the hole and sort it out, or more wheeling into the corners like that. How they did, especially them old tires with the higher knobs.
Yeah.
And that's a major thing. So you cannot compare, but people compare and say, "How could it these days?" But it's so different. It's another sport actually. So you shouldn't with these bikes and everything, because the riders are so good. But even these days, you see, if bike hit the hole or something, they lose control. Yeah, doesn't matter how good, because the bikes are so aggressive and hard to ride, and you must have that in your mind. That's why also sometimes if the track doesn't mean to be 100, but at least it cannot be dangerous, because together with the condition and the bikes, it's not in a good,
Yeah, it's interesting you said this, because Ovi van Den was in Molilla, and during all the issues with the track and stuff with the riders, he was walking around in the pits, and he walked up to all of us after we had a meeting too, and he said, "Come on, boys, what's wrong? Can't you just give it a shot and go for it?" Back in the day, we did like this, and we rode when it was really wet, and I said, with all due respect, Ovi, you're a god in the speed of the world. It is different today, and explained everything, and of course we reasoned on everything, and he said, I understand that, absolutely, I understand that, but you know what, I know you're a good gator, just get out in front and leave him behind, one of those, he makes the right comment at the moment, but just speaking to him, he understands, like, it's different, I don't want to have this conversation with you right now, but it's like, things are different than they were back then, and the tires, like you said,
that's a major. People don't speak about it.
No.
But I've been riding by myself, and I know how it was. I started 82 on a 500, and compared to these days, it's still going left and like that. The tracks are the same length, but it's a huge difference. That's how it is, and that's also have a fact about this with the bad weather. But people don't want to listen.
Yeah, sure.
You must take that into consideration like that about.
It's cool to hear that from you. It's like you said. I still try to set my bike up as similar as I possible to how they used to be. Yeah. Because I can't ride them the way the modern day engine is built, and if they do, I have to change it, and we have to make alterations to try to give me a more broad power band, like the torque, like you said, all the way through. Yeah. And so everything from the compression and the cams and all that stuff to the gear ratio. I'm trying to still ride it like I have the old Jawa throttle. That's you gotta grab it from here and twist it all the way around. And I'm trying to find that.
Come into the corners like that. You are probably the last one that I see when you still can sort of shut it off and then give it to gas again. Because now it's like just flat out. You must go so hard into the corners, and if it's a dangerous track, especially always when I walk the track with the boys, and I know when they start, this is not good. especially into the corners. That's where the major thing is. Like we was in Vetlanda now, it was wet, so we had to delay. They put new stuff on. But if it's okay into the corners, it can be a little bit rough out.
Yeah.
But that's where the dangerous spots are always been into the corner. But people don't really understand if you fix that.
Yeah.
But if you have big holes there, then it could be, I don't want to be part of it.
Yeah, you come to the fastest part of the track, and suddenly you can't
with
get
these
the
days,
back
you
wheel to
must
get
go hard
sideways.
in like that. You cannot. Before you could sort of rolling in more, and then, but it doesn't work with these bikes. It's
And if you go roll it in like we used to, you got some hot head behind you that's just coming in. I'm not rolling it off, you know.
Then,
You better watch out. Yeah.
So no.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as people think. Just go out and ride. That's what I want to come with this conversation.
Sure.
That's
good to hear that.
Yeah.
You know. It's hard to explain, you know, and obviously, you know, people sit in front of the TV or they sit in the grandstands, and of course they're the paying public, right? Yeah, what's going on, you guys? What's wrong with you? You know, you're thinking, man, you know, but you know, we don't want to say our bikes are too difficult to ride or anything like that either. You just think, man, this is just what it is, you know. Give us a tire. I mean, that's if we go into tires.
Yeah, that should make
to go with the old, bigger
Pirelli
knobby
tires.
tires. Pirelli Carlisle back in the day. These tires, you could ride them on any condition, really. And sure, they might get more grip on the tracks we have today, but you wouldn't be able to ride them flat out. You'd have to shut the throttle off because the tracks have not gotten bigger. I think the Speedway bikes have outgrown the Speedway tracks today. So we have bikes that really should be on tracks that are much wider, more area. It works good in Tour, and it works good in Bellevue, the new Bellevue. It works good on a lot of tracks in Sweden still too. But there are still some tracks that are slightly too narrow for our speed, the quickness of the bikes, and you just need more room for everything.
Because the speed you're coming into the corners on a tight track, and if something happened there's no, like you say, then you're going to hit the fence. You cannot do anything because you have nothing to play about. And also Speedway, I think that's been the danger, that even this air fence, that's been helping a lot for the but you need to ride where the dirt is before you could be more like on the inside. Then you have more to play. Everybody chasing that dirt line, and if something happened out there, or you are so close, and with that speed, you cannot do anything. You are sort of
Is the fence so close to the track because of the audience, so they can be closer to the track, or is it?
There is. How many meters is it? I should know that. I think it's 3 meters at the straight, and then it's 5. So there is special regulation. If you should make like Hallstavik, if we say no, we're gonna make it wider on the outside, not take it in, then we must move the whole stadium, sort of, you know. So that's the.
I mean, in like MotoGP or what is called the fast motorcycles, it's a big.
Yeah, they've been changing all the tracks also with the sand and everything. So
they have that runoff period.
Runoff.
Too, so
Exactly.
Before it was steel fence there also, you know, around. So.
Directly to the track.
In the 70s, 80s it was.
So I think like Speedway is kind of following them in a way, because the air fence came from road racing, so it is part of it.
Because it's always you end up in the fence, and then you're hurt.
Yeah, many times it can be like that.
It looks like that anyway.
Yeah, and I mean the thing is when the air fence came too, it became almost like I have a better chance of survival now. So many guys went even harder, thinking, if I crash, I'm just gonna hit the air fence, you know. But
no problem.
You still hit the air fence pretty hard, then you know you get wrapped up, but you can still get hurt.
End up with your fingers in the wheels, or
that's right. Air fence didn't help my fingers going in the back tire, so I don't know how to fix that part. But no, it's been interesting. But for you now, how about the transition from a Speedway, or what age were you when you started Speedway? Did you come through junior Speedway?
It's a long story. Take from beginning, quick. My dad, he's from Målilla.
Okay.
So I'm not a really Rospigg. I'm only half. They said it takes a couple of generations.
Oh, so you're like me.
Or your kids actually like that.
So
So my dad is from down there. He moved up here 59. My mom is from Hallstavik area. And he started the Speedway, to ride the Speedway in the 70s, because he was involved a little in Dakarna at that time as a mechanic. So then I got my first bike when I was 5, like a homemade bike riding on the grass. Right. And then of course I started with we call it Knatte Speedway, but the junior Speedway when I I think I get my first proper bike when I was 9, 10 practice. Then I start at 12. We have a team up there. It was Micke was in the team because he's a few years older than me, and a few other locals. And then when I was 15, I started on the 500. But Rospiggarna was not elite team. I never been in the elite, but it was like Allsvenskan. So I went straight in there as 15 years old. So a couple of seasons there. Then I went to Gotland to ride in the elite league, and then it went further on like that. So.
Wow.
So it's a long story.
How many years did you ride in England?
6, 7 years.
Okay.
92, 97. From 92 to 97.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you went straight from school to professional speedway?
No. After school, of course, that was always I want to be like professional rider. So how old was I when I started? Because even when I didn't ride in England, because I was supposed to ride in England 90. 89 I went over to King's Lynn for some trial or something. But that time Sweden was not in the EU. It was so with this work permit thing. I couldn't get the work permit. The 90 I should go to Peterborough and deny this work permit was the ride coming in, you know. But then 92 I get this work permit, so I start from the season. So I should have, that was my sort of come to England before. But I did a lot of meetings, international meetings, so I had it as a job from sort of 88. So I worked a few years like that. I work at the paper factory after.
In Hallstavik?
Yeah, in Hallstavik a few years, yeah. And then I still have that. So in the winter, after England, I always come back. Before work a few months in the winter. So I have that until I sort of stop complete with Speedway. So they give me a job, but they give me also much time I want. I was away for like 8, 9 months. Then I come back work 2, 3 months in the winter. So it was quite.
So you could do that.
It was handy, yeah.
It was handy.
Yeah.
Because you remember they were very involved in the
Yeah.
in Rospiggarna. So yeah. So I have a full like a work, but I didn't need to be there sort of. So only when I wanted.
And there was a lot of guys.
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
to
yeah,
do
had
it
the
too, so it was
same,
pretty.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
kind of. It was very handy.
Yeah,
to have the
it was
paper mill
many,
there,
Andreas worked there one winter also, Killingstad and Messing, and it was not any problem. It was like the head sponsor, so yeah.
Yeah, they take care of it.
Yeah, so
You don't get that very often,
yeah.
you know. Huh.
So
then so you came from that, and the other thing that's quite unique about you when you, I don't know how long the break was after you finished riding, but then you became the teacher.
I did.
And
It was also a story by itself.
Yeah,
But
this one's pretty cool. Maybe you know this. I don't know. But
I didn't know that.
I 2001 I started to feel I rode still like I say I was part of Rospiggarna, and then I started the season 2002. But I feel now I was not old, but I think I started to think too much. I have 2 kids and everything around that Speedway was. I could feel I started to be actually a little scared. Not scared when I went to the meetings, but I admit that I know when I come in the pits, I could feel I shut off some places where you normally don't shut off, you know?
Oh.
So I wasn't sitting scared like this. I wasn't scared that way, but something started to happen in my head. Then I feel, now I must sort of more train, not to be better, don't to be worse. You know, when I come to that point, I start to feel like I don't, now I must sort of more keep my place before you always try to be better, you know.
Yeah.
Then it come to my head, now I want to keep this level. Yeah. And then
interesting.
So then I know. And then I get a call from the school in Hallstavik, and they're going to start like a Speedway gymnasium. Oh, okay. So are you interested? We think, because Erik Stenner was also contacted, but he was no, so they called me. He didn't have interest or some other work. So are you interested to be part of this? Ooh, so I get contact with the rector or headmaster, and we start to work on that. So it's going to be like a Speedway gymnasium. And that time it was a little bit different how it is now. If you are living in South Sweden, you can go to what school you want. Sure. But that was different that time. It's what the region you actually live in.
Oh, you need,
you understand. You remember. Yeah. And but we didn't get the clearance from I think it was actually federation, because I know Målilla want, even Hagfors want to start the school. And it was only one who could get the permission, because it was this Riksidrottsförbund, what you call translated.
It's like the
sport federation, like Swimort, but for all sports.
Oh, okay.
And we need to get clearance. And they didn't want to give, because it was free, who put in application. It was very close, this. And then no, they say no to everybody. So none get this, So then I was a little bit hanging with the head, so okay. So then, the head must say, okay, sorry, but then he called me a few weeks later, then he said, one of the teacher have sort of get some mental collapse, or something. What happened these days. So he's going to be away for 1 year. Are you interested to be like a metal work teacher? I know I have the background, but I haven't been work with it. I say for years, of course, I can weld a bit and I can work. And no, there's not any problem because I like you. Okay, so I must think this was not Speedway. It was okay to be, but this is, but that's typical me, I was thinking I speak with one of my mates. I remember I must leave it yes or no tomorrow. Maybe. Why not? Give it a go. Yeah, that's typical me. I say yes. And then I went straight into it. And it went quite well. So then I start to read in the weekends and go into Stockholm after 1 year because I like it. We take this first year then. Then he said he will not come back, so I want to give you a job. But you need to get the
credentials.
Sure. So then I start to read in Stockholm to get all this exams. I did that part. So I did these courses and everything to be like a...
At the same time as you were a teacher?
Yeah. So
So there was no Speedway in that?
No. I was with Andreas in the Grand Prix on the weekends and helping you remember that.
Yep.
So that was I was involved in the Speedway to be. I fly with him to the Grand Prix and helping him as sort of manager and but that was not any full-time job. So, but then also when I become this teacher, I was like metalwork teacher for a couple of years. But then my situation at the school changed. We got a new headmaster. And then I get sort of I was like a boss for the other working teachers, like the builder teacher, the electric teachers, and also I was in charge to look after because all these training places in the whole Roslagen and even Stockholm area. So I was out meeting companies and find training places. So that was my job for 7-8 years until the Speedway started to take over. Then I come in as a manager, then I start to cut down with the school, and then 2012, when Rospiggarna starts to be big, then I must make a decision. Because I was so involved with everything in Rospiggarna, then I say goodbye to the teacher bit. But I know I've been learning a lot from that. I think I have a good help, because the thing with learning, you never know when you learn.
No.
If I tell you something, you don't probably learn it today, but one day it will click. And that's something, And I know this pedagogic, I think it was quite boring, to be honest. I read it, because that's what's needed to do. I read all these pedagogic books and everything, and it wasn't the most fantastic books. But somehow, a few things of them have been clicking about persons and like that. And I know I have got used to this in my role as the manager and everything, to the leadership and like that. So it was very good. I think this come quite good, this combination. And I don't say I'm the best or anything, but I think it's been good because you know how to take people. And I think if you take a few bits and pieces, I think I learned at least something from them. Courses in Stockholm, these pedagogic courses that I was doing.
And it maybe affects everybody in a different way, right? How you take it or how you work with it.
Because I had the chance there with the school. I know that gone a little bit, but the love to the Speedway was so strong. So when I get the chance and I see this Rospiggarna, and so I cut down, so I worked 50% at school and 50% with Rospiggarna, but it was very hard to combine these two. I think you can maybe have two different jobs, but it's so far from each other. So I could be like in the school in the morning, then the Speedway bit. It didn't really work, and then I sort of 2012, I left the school, and I've been actually helping. A few years ago I was helping out with a few things. It was something about companies, because I did also a bit at the school. I was out at all these different working places to teach like say a car company who have a student there, how you should take care of the student, that sort of things, so that was also I had courses meant, exactly. If you get the kid coming here on Monday morning, how you should take care of him, what you should think about. And so I did that also. So I've been, So I have many, so
Pretty wide perspective.
Yeah.
What
So
was your background? What did you study when you were in
just
like gymnasium?
I was only like metal work. I wasn't.
So it was
yeah,
metal
yeah,
work,
yeah.
yeah.
So I've been quite. The journey's been quite. Yeah, I know.
Cool.
Yeah. So it's quite funny. When I think back, funny trip I've been doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think the Speedway bit have learned me a lot. I think it's quite good school.
The Speedway school is not a bad school.
No.
That way, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And you need to look after yourself and take care of yourself, and I think it's very good.
it's pretty true. I mean, even a lot of riders today, even myself, we left school as quick as we could to get out of there, and then pretty much the life school took over. It's all there for the taking, but you got to do it.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I wanted to race my bike, right? So everything was about my motorcycle, and if I'm going to do it, I got to fix this, I got to fix that. But you learn quick to network with the right people, and you find I had it pretty easy, really, because there were some good people around that opened doors, and I never took a bite of the hand that was feeding. I always respected, and to the day, everything is. I never burned any bridges, luckily, knock on wood. But it's if you go with an open mind and keep your eyes open, there's so much out there. There's so many things you can do, what you can learn and experience and travel, and it's to look back on it and thinking about going to high school, going to college, going to to follow a career base and do one thing. Of course, it can be great, you can be successful, but man, I looking back, I would do it all again if I could, and probably even do even more, and even have more fun and more. But that's life.
Yeah, I just remember. Sounds like a small thing, but when you're a little bit over 20, it's a big thing. When I come to England first time, the contract was signed. I'm going to live here. They sort the place out with some family, but then you must sort all this, go to the bank, and you don't maybe speak so good English. Sort the bank account out. Sounds easy, but if you are in a new country, you don't know anything, and you must sort all this. You remember these green books and like that. You remember?
Sure.
Yeah, go to the some. Yeah, I don't know what was some apartment and get this green book and stamps here and there, and you must do that. And then I remember just fly. I hardly fly before. I went down to Heathrow, like was to go to and then get the flight to Sweden because league meeting. But you're learning first time. Then of course it's nothing. But everything you do, I think you learn a lot from that sort of things. You need to take care of it, and I think it's the good sort of impact on yourself in the future, all the new things you do, and I think it's a good learning.
For sure. And
Now,
throw in the English side of it too. You're not an English speaking, not your national language, and suddenly you go over there and maybe you've got the basics, but suddenly you got to get your bank account sorted out, all your tax
that's
stuff, everything like that.
It's exactly.
What an experience.
Sort of, it's a big experience. It sounds it's nothing, but in a strange country it's not that easy.
That's right.
But speaking about all of that things, when you organize the GP now, isn't that just a big learning curve? I mean, and the venue was great. I mean, it was perfect from my perspective.
Yeah.
And how did you manage to do that? You never done that before.
No.
Here we go. Now we're digging.
No, but I've been around a lot. So of course, I was but very good crew we have. We have good crew.
Sure.
Crew.
Yeah,
Two different things. I mean crew. But that's what I must say. Thanks to all these people up there at Rospiggarna. They are fantastic, because that I always have that feeling. It sometimes can be hard to find the people to come, but when they are there, they know what to do, and then they do 100%. Everybody work, never any moaning anything, and that we speak a lot before. Now we're here to do because I have many meetings before, and now we are like in the hands of like the BSI, the FIM. Even if you think something is, why should I do that, or why? Just do it. We take it afterwards. Just do as they say. So I was very clear with that, because I've been around to many Grand Prix to see live. I don't know, hundreds, and I know the last years I've been around, and I've been all really looking, been out to see. Exactly, and I know I've been overdoing a few things, but we have a very good sort of organization, and even to be the first time, you don't know, but it worked good. So it was a lot of work behind the scenes to get it working, and of course you need a bit of luck also with everything. The weather was on our side and no big accidents, but my head started, I can tell you, it started to spin the last days if something happened that you cannot control, if the starting gate don't go up, if the lampposts fall down, if the stand somebody fall down, this sort of things, what happened then, if the power break down. I wasn't worried about this others. That's what I start to be, that you cannot control. Because what you can control, you can do. Because that's what I said to people. I'm going to give 100. If you've done 100, you cannot do more than 100. Yeah, and if something go wrong. But if I should go away for 2 weeks holiday before the Grand Prix, then I'm not that type. People do it. Then you haven't done 100. No. But if everybody do 100, then you cannot do more. But all these other things, that's what's worried me a lot actually before, that people you cannot control. It can happen, things.
Yeah, that's true. But in some way, I think you make it sound so easy, because all the facilities and the pit area, and it was a lot of work coming to that day.
It was too much work.
Too much.
Yeah, it was. We was running against the clock to make all this. But that was also, I know it cost a lot of money. We have invest heavily. So, but the thing was, we speak about it before, and I say, we can have a Grand Prix, we can put up tents, and we can do everything just temporarily, like that. But I think the chances, if you want Grand Prix here for a few more years, then if we do it as good as we can, then I think they look and say, we want to be here next year again. Oh. So that was the thing. And I know, now we get a 2-year deal, it's perfect. And I know all the investments we've been doing, it's like investing in a company. You must get that bit of money back. And also, it's a very good thing to have a Grand Prix for the name Rospiggarna, for actually the club. It helps in other things, it's it's the product Rospiggarna. Yeah, to have a Grand Prix. Actually, the money, of course, with the contract you do, if you do everything right and you get the crowd and you're selling good, but you get a bit of money from event. But it's not millions and millions. It's not like that. But I know we can do a lot of things better, but off the scene, so we are not there yet. I know that, especially with the selling and like that, to have more selling points, new cash system we're looking at, and we didn't even have power to do something at Friday and Saturday evening after the meeting, because we are full licensed with alcohol and everything, and food. We have good deal with good partners, so we can do something, because that's where we can get the money. If the amount of people, if 8,000 people there, if everybody buy an extra soft drink and a burger, the amount of money with them deals we have. Yeah. So you must think, because you must do something. If it's 500 people there, it doesn't make so big difference. But that's what I'm always trying. We must be better at that, because that's where you can make huge difference to selling more.
It must be hard to think of all these things, because I think that we would try to buy things and
exactly.
It's hard with the payment system.
Exactly, it was problem with that also. Yeah, right. That I know. It was not good at all. But that didn't see from the sort of rider's view and the FIM. But I know up there it wasn't good. And that's already about thinking about how to do it, And we have the same now. Now I jump a little bit with the subject. But on Tuesday, that's also one of my crazy ideas. We have this match. We people come in for free. Have you heard about it? Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's working so well. So it could be a lot of people there. And we need also now to sell a lot. That's our way, but it's going good. Have you heard about the thing we do?
Yeah, I've heard about that before.
And I sell it when I went here, so now it's over 120 company, and they give 1 krone, Swedish krone, and we give away 50, like half of it, to this Uppsala Akademiska Sjukhus barnfond, charity fund. So they get half. Awesome. Normally they give a few percent. So I know it's going to give them a couple of 100,000. So it's a good thing. Yeah. So that's also one of the ideas I get, because my daughter, she's a little bit like me. She's involved in the horse club. She's like the chairman of the young, not kids, shouldn't they? She's 17 now. But they did a show jumping meeting, and they give all the money what they get to that Children Cancer Foundation. And I think it was something like 10,000 Swedish. It was very nice of them. So then I come. I don't know, I was on the way to Prague, sitting in the airplane, and I thought she'd call and say, now we have done that. And, that's great. And I thought, what can I do? What can we do? Should I do a meeting? I don't have power to do a special meeting in Night Riders. What? And I was thinking, I have my pen sitting in the airplane by myself. And when I landing in Prague, then I had the idea. We do like a charity meeting. People come for free. I think I can get the companies. That's what they've been doing before, but they haven't given away. That's the thing, you give away, and then we should take it back, what we're selling in the kiosks, and we get half of this to cover our costs, And I think also, I know it's going to be a lot of people if the weather is good. But say if it comes 6,000, maybe 10-20% of them come back when the playoff starts. So you must see it in the long term if you do something,
Yeah, sure.
So you're really selling the sport. And you do something good also. It's not just then you do something good, and they are over the moon. And I say it's been going quite easy with the company we're speaking with. It's very positive because you do something good also. So one of them ideas,
The deal is that you get it for free, but you have to come hungry and thirsty.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
a little bit like exactly, a little bit like that.
Yeah. And of course, it's always nice to go home with a little, souvenir of some kind. If you don't walk out with a bag on the way out, showing,
a little bit like
you're
that.
not welcome back.
So I hope people spend the money inside there. So
that's cool. And you've done that. This is the second or third year you've done that now.
First.
This is the first year.
Yeah,
I thought you did something like this last year too, right? Didn't you guys do something with a?
No.
Have I got that wrong? No, wow. I thought you did something last year very similar. Where
No, this is first like this. Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So first.
Is it something that you're trying to get the other clubs to do the same? You start something
really.
that is like give it forward.
Somebody has done something like this, and I thought it was you.
No.
Not to this.
They haven't
nature,
given
but-
away. They have given us one, but they have taken the whole by themselves. They have not given away.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's where it's gone different. I'm with you. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And for all the right reasons.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's going to be nice. It's going to feel here when you. I hope the weather is with us, a good crowd, because that means the companies involved, they pay. Some have put a limit, of course, that we are up to this limit with the crowd, but some are, doesn't matter if it's 5, 6, 7,000. And to write the check there and give over, I think it could be a couple of 100,000.
Man.
Yeah.
That would be.
It will be. Yeah. It will be if it's come between 5 6. I've already been counting. If it come like that, and I cannot see why not, because we have like 4,000 euros there. So why should? Because it's for free like that, and we do really hard advertising. And the newspaper's been very. So they will give us like that Uppsala Nya Tidning every day now, half page. They sponsor with that because you can do that. So now Norrtelje Tidning is coming Monday, Tuesday. Big adverts with all companies free. So
Great.
Yeah, and radios and everything. So, yeah, it could be a good crowd.
Wow.
I hope so. And then, of course, and if you can write a check to them and say 200,000 or whatever like that, it should be nice.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
So hats off to you.
Hopefully it works.
Are they coming to the event?
Yes, they are. They're coming to the event. The whole organization committee. So.
Wow.
Who do you have there for your last home? This is last home.
Leonen's
coming too, right?
But I thought also about it that when should you do this? Figure out the meeting, because that sort of meeting is the last meeting before the playoff. Also, now it's going to be because if we win and you beat Smederna by, I think it's 8 points, and we beat Lejonen with 10 points, then we could be second in the league. So we have a lot to ride for, and Lejonen still have a chance. But I didn't know that. I saw that last meeting. I think that's maybe good to do because then maybe it's clear. People don't, coming because they wait for the playoff. We could be there and they are, So it doesn't mean anything. So I think it's quite a good meeting because I know by fact if it doesn't mean, then people could wait to the playoff and the audience go down. So I think it was the right meeting to.
Yeah, there's
to
a lot.
do
There's
it.
a lot that can happen on the night too.
Yeah.
Just need to get people to understand what's happened.
Yeah.
That it is a big meeting.
Yeah. We try on the social media and like that, but to spread it out and do everything we can. And I know the newspaper is going to do stories now for I think tomorrow's paper, so Monday is coming out. So it should be, people should know. And like in Hallstavik now, it's like the circus coming to town because I know the workers, volunteers was out putting up everywhere, free speedway like that. So you know how it's circus in town.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
correct?
yeah,
So
exactly.
now this is
Yeah.
now we do extra like that.
I gotcha.
So, yeah.
Circus is coming to town. Yeah. Like here. Yeah. That's pretty cool. The amount of work you guys did around that stadium now, it's fun because when you're standing in the pits now, when we were there last week for our league match too, people started talking. People haven't been there yet from Molilla too, and they were like, "Wow, look at this! Check this place out." Where was the pits before?
Down there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like the whole the scenery now. I mean, the whole attraction. You look at it, and nobody actually can remember what it looked like. And you're thinking, man, it was like behind there, and it was just that little thing. And this was basically just forest. You know, where we're standing here with the little kiosk that was there. And I said, you can't even imagine if you look back on it now. Then you can appreciate actually how much work you've done. You got you must have the largest pit area in the world now as far as Speedway goes.
I know it's a little bit too big for league meetings, to be honest.
Yeah,
you have to run
maybe.
over, but for the Grand Prix.
Yeah, and
It's perfect. Yeah.
I don't think it's too big for a league meeting either. I think that to have the space, like you said, we don't want to do this. We don't want to expand it again next year, and then the next year.
No. That's what. Yeah.
You've actually done it now. Now you have room to grow.
Yeah.
So it's,
But
I
also
think you did great.
for other events we have up there, it was good. We have like old cars and motorbikes. They was all in that pits there. They have like can even have a band playing there if you do other things like that. So because that's also been on our plate that we want to have as many events we can. Because I have a belief, but I know it takes power from me and also for all the workers. But I should want to have something every month, year round, happen up there.
Oh.
Yeah, because we have the ice racing, ice speedway, a couple of meetings. We have that super enduro. We had skiing one year. We have flat track. We have cars there, and we have try to do something. Yeah, we have even
go-karts?
We haven't
Any sort of like
4-wheel we have up there, so we haven't have go-karts on the track. No, maybe that's the thing.
dirt carts.
Yeah.
I don't know how big that is in
Yeah,
Sweden.
yeah,
It's so
yeah,
big in other places around the world.
Yeah. No, it's been growing. So, like you say, the stadium is nice. It's
And you
the
got tons of
facilities
parking
like that. So it's and that was nice. We got the FIM report after the Grand Prix because it has like international license and it can hold whatever international meetings. It's have all the facilities and everything.
Yeah.
So it's quite nice to have
Very
that.
nice.
So it's But,
on the day of the Grand Prix, pulling in there too, and it was all eyes from practice day to race day, and that was probably the most relaxed I have seen you all year, or in a while.
Yeah.
You walked around and you looked like suddenly like I did what I can do.
Yeah.
And
I tell you, that
I'm
was
gonna enjoy the speedway now. I felt like that when I saw you on the
Yeah,
race day.
it was like that. You see that because you are so right there. Because I stressed. I couldn't sleep like the last couple of weeks. Even the Grand Prix day, I was up there 5 o'clock in the morning because I was just home rolling in bed. So I go up and be there because I feel better if I'm there.
Yeah.
Then I know sort of.
Fix
I come to
something
that
if
part. I want to be there all the time because if I'm not there, then something.
I didn't give 100.
Yeah, exactly.
Said.
Yeah, but when the actual meetings start, because everything went so smooth. So I didn't do anything because I was not allowed because I do the Swedish TV.
Yeah.
But that was from BSI. I was not allowed because I was so heavily involved. They didn't let me to do the TV.
Yeah.
That's why it should be nice to sit and speak TV in Hallstavik for that.
Talking about your-
You thought that you couldn't do that.
Yeah, I didn't. But they said, just so you know, you are not Torben said.
That would have been cool. Just erase this thing. Now I'm sitting here and
No, but like you say, and everything, I didn't do anything. I was just wandering around because everything went so. It was a nice feeling. It was. I feel like train out. I did actually. It was. I enjoyed a lot of people and everybody enjoyed. So.
And I didn't hear one negative
Yeah.
or controversial or even constructive criticism about it. The only one I heard was one guy said about it's kind of hard to get a good signal in the media room. That was about the only thing I think I heard.
Yeah.
I couldn't. He was trying. I don't remember who it was. Some reporter was trying to log on to do something. He says the internet connection is kind of rough in the media room, but other than that, I can't really complain because a lot of media rooms don't even have a connection.
No, it went smooth. So no, I mean I think that first Grand Prix because Grand Prix is a big meeting. It's the biggest you can have. And to have it in Hallstavik, if somebody said that for 5 years ago, they should think you are stupid or crazy.
If somebody said it a year ago, they would have said the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
Like, come on,
Yeah.
right? And I mean, the rumor had already started circulating. I'm like, I don't know. People asking me too, thinking I would know because I'm based up here, you know. I'm thinking, I don't know about that. I can't see. There's too much that needs to be done. I don't know. No, they wouldn't do that. And then when I was announced, I'm thinking, son of a gun. Okay, hats off to Micke. He's got a plan. What's he gonna do? And that was the thing. What's gonna happen? What are they gonna do? And then you walk up there now and you just go, whoa! Talk about a vision. You put the plan into place, and here we go.
But I don't like to have. It's easy to say, vision 2025. We're gonna have that. It's better to don't say so much. Do it, and then you say after. Yeah,
Gonna have the Olympics. And
no,
yeah,
never. No, but
How long time did you have to plan it? When did you actually know that you could?
I can tell that from the beginning. It was because it went. This is like a record in everything. Because 2015, I thought it's time to do something because we start to make improvements on the stadium, and then we applied for the Swedish final, and we get it, and it went a huge success from what the Swedish final had been before. The individual, it was over like 4,000, but July, is the perfect time, and I say to Svemo, put it in July, final weekend. I promise it's going to be a lot of people. So it come like 4,000, so it was a big boost, and they was happy. So we get the 2016 again, not the same amount of people, get a little bit less, but I think it was at Roslagsloppet or something, with the boat, same weekend, but it was still good. And then I get the call 2016 from Torben, and he heard about this. So I was just doing the grass at home, and I get from England. Okay. So 2016, he asked, and I heard a lot good things about your success with a good crowd in the league, and also the Swedish finals. Yeah, we're looking for a possible new venue, because when the friends running out, we don't know the future.
Yeah.
Are you interested? Of course, yes. Yeah. So he come up actually 2016 before the friends, and we have a secret look like that, and and then we start to speak from there, and then 2017 signed a contract, because then they had probably that friends wasn't going to be there anymore. They want another venue, so signed the contract, but nobody really know. Only the committee. We keep it very. Yeah. So I went down to Västervik for the World Team Cup, and meet him, and then did the contract. So what have I done when I drove back? Then I thought, so that's how it was. Yeah. And then we must keep absolutely quiet. Then the rumor starts to be, but I must thank Tommy Rander, because he was so convinced it's going to be in that Tele2.
Oh, right.
So he because he jumped to me at Friends. I know everything was clear. I have signed the contract, so I know we're going to have the Grand Prix. And because that's going to be the last at Friends. And they're moving to Tele2. Are you sure? And then the best thing he did, he write it in that Speedway magazine.
Yeah.
They're moving to Tele2. So that's really killed down the...
That took down all the rumors, right?
So then we keep it. So nobody say... And then they have this press conference in October. And I remembered still, I know my phone's going to be red hot. So 3 o'clock, they say we're going to announce it. Say it was, I don't know, 20th of October, 3 o'clock. And I was in Uppsala meetings, but I know I was on my way home. And 3 o'clock, and then it was like it was quite funny.
Gosh.
Yeah, then I was a little bit tears in my eyes actually.
Yeah. Here we go. And now it's game on.
Yeah, then it's game on.
It's game on. Yeah.
So that's how it was. A story quite, but happens a lot between. But that's how it come.
So that's when you could start building up this.
Yeah.
The area.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So from July, you can say 2017. But we had a really hard winter. Because remember it went cold. Yeah. So we lost so many weeks because we have like digging machines there. I have a few sponsors who have not so much. We could be there. But it was like, remember Mars? It was the coldest Mars for history. So we lost many weeks. And then it just turned like that to summer. It was nearly in the spring.
Directly,
but it comes snow and everything. It became really winter late. So we didn't really have that on our side. So it was quite stressful. But no, it's not 100% ready, but few things only. It looks, but I know there are a few things that you can, and you can always do things a little bit better. You must be looking now to move the turnstiles in the stadium because queuing on the road is not good. We want to get people in. So them sort of things we try to,
Find a
but
way.
it's not we're not going to build a new pits or anything like that at this
No.
time. So,
Yeah, that part you can say is
yeah,
finished. So. Oh man.
Mm.
So overall, you must be happy with it.
Yeah, of course. That's what I say in the beginning. I wish could maybe enjoy, but of course, sometimes. But you get quite blind. You know by yourself. You if you have a new car, it's nice in the beginning, but then you get blind.
Yeah.
House, if you fix something, it's the same with this. I go up there almost every day, and you don't think about it. But sometimes I can see picture how it was 7-8 years ago, and then you are okay. Yeah, it went quite pretty well, and it went. Yeah, but it's so easy to forget, you know,
Sure.
because you are. And you see the things. Who isn't that good? Oh, that wood there looks a little bit. You know how it is. You always. It's. I think it's the nature how we are.
Yeah.
But sometimes you need to think back and reflect because it's been a hard journey.
Sure, but I mean, you've had a lot of success since you joined the club as a team manager, and over the years, you know, building it up, and you guys have got a championship under your belts too, and now you've got a championship under under you too as a world championship event and stuff like that. But I mean, recently, you know, we know we're going to ask this question because just very recently you've announced you're stepping down from various things. Is that something you want to talk about? Is that something?
Of course, it may be good. I speak about it to tell. It's something that's been in my head. I have actually I shouldn't say dream, but I want, if I could finish with a gold, it should be nice. Because I want to sort of step down with the flag still up, you know. That's me a little bit. Not many do it because normally team manager either they lift them away from the job or they kick them, and I don't want to be part of it.
Sure.
Because it's going like that. So it's very hard to say. Yeah, but I feel no, and also all this job I can tell you with this Grand Prix, it went a little bit too much. And before, to be manager, it gives me energy. If I work a lot, but to go away with the meetings, because people say you should maybe leave that, and can you don't find anybody, and then concentrate on that, you know, because I do a lot selling I'm like the marketing man for Rospiggarna, you know.
Okay.
Maybe I sell 80% of all the sponsorships, so that's a full-time job, but then I do all these other things. But lately I'm becoming the manager bit. Takes the energy, don't give me the energy. So I come to that point I start to feel like in May, I wasn't that happy when I win a meeting and I feel like, you know, stressed and about all the other things, and I feel this is not good. But of course, you have the experience, you know by yourself. You can still, if a day when you don't have, with experience you can do a lot. And I can run the team with my experience.
Sure.
But it must come from the inside. You cannot do it in the long term. Because that's what I'm so impressed by you. You have the experience, but you must have the passion. It's the same. And you still have it. That's, I think, when you ask how can Greg, because you have the passion for the sport. I know it's all about that.
Yeah.
You have the passion. People start to, if you don't have the passion,
no secret.
if you wake up, that's the secret.
Yeah.
That's you, because you still love the sport as much as I think you did 20 years ago. Yeah. And I feel the same. I don't have that. I start to lose that a little bit, the team manager bit. I love Speedway. I haven't lost that passion, but I think now it's time to call it a day. And I don't want to tell in October, no, then it's going to be a big mess. I think it's fairer to everybody because it start to be rumors. And I want to tell the riders because some riders was shocked. I only speak with a few riders. So before I did this I make like a press conference. I send all the riders, I think that's a few hours before, because and I was shocked because few riders don't know me, I speak with them. So this was nothing I wake up one morning. This has been since I think June at least in my head that I wanted to do 10 years because next year should be my 10th, but if you don't feel you shouldn't just because of some...
Not just because it's...
No, it's stupid. It should be stupid. It's not right to the club, it's not right to the riders, and I think it's perfect now to get somebody in, but I want to kill that rumors that I'm leaving everything. Yeah. It's not that, because I say I will still work with the Grand Prix, and that was the good thing, because the day after I make the deal for the Grand Prix after I say I'm retired as a manager, so it was the day after, so that was coming in quite good. There comes some positive because people thought, oh, what's going to happen now when you stop? Because
of course,
everybody can be replaced. I know that, but maybe it's a bit difficult now because I've been doing too much. That's the problem, to replace me.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but we have a couple of new names, 4 or 5 names that we've been. So I'm involved in that to find a new
so
one.
you're still involved,
I'm still involved. So,
yeah.
But of course, I can say in the long term. Now, maybe give a chance because I'm honest and say, of course, I get other offers both in the speedway and outside the speedway. That I'm, but I don't going to do anything quick. I'm going to stay with Rospiggarna and I work with this, but in the long term, maybe. Yeah, because I'm over 50 now, and I also want to, if I'm going to do something like I did with that school thing, and I think I'm like, I'm not say I'm going to work for Rospiggarna the rest of my life. I don't think I will do, but now I will never, because I put so much into this. It's like a baby for me, so I couldn't just leave it. And I want it to be as good as can be, even if I'm not there, because it's so big part. So I don't.
But look at your success rate. All the things that you're putting into. You go into it with 100, and you're getting 100 out of it. I think so far, and what you've done with the school in the beginning there, and then what you did with the team, and then what you've done with the Grand Prix. I mean, you're of course, so you're constantly improving and trying to be better. So it's pretty.
Yeah, but I feel it's
Mr.
no, definitely. I'm not 100. No, definitely.
Oh, you give it 100, so you're
I have done many things wrong in my life, so that's for sure. So nobody's 100, but
who hasn't?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
But so that's the plan. So I'm not leaving Rospiggarna, but I'm leaving, and I want to leave. Also, I get the chairman of it. It was not my meaning. I'm sitting on the board, but then the chairman gets sick, and of course, somebody must step in. Okay, so you, Micke, but I don't want to be because I'm not really. But then, I've been that for a year. But that's just so we're looking for a new. But I want to be, of course. I stay on the board. I say, and do the advertising and the Grand Prix. That's enough. Great. That's more like normal. Okay, because I want to have a life also. I don't have much of a life lately the last years because of this. So
how could you?
Yeah. So
this is your life.
Yeah, it's been my life. Of course, it's been fun. But then again, I know I shouldn't. I know many people do a lot of hard work. At least I have. I know for a couple of years ago I got many these awards and like that. You cannot live on the awards, but of course it's a nice feeling like that. Rospigg of the year, and I get in Uppsala.
That's great.
Yeah, of course it's. I shouldn't. I'm not honest if I don't say. Of course, it feels good. But it's also so many others who do big things who never get anything out from it. So you must, But no, of course, it was nice. You people at least have recognized a little bit what you've been doing.
I think quite a few people have recognized what you've been doing, and again, for us to go up there when we did the piece with Visit Roslagen, and to see that wasn't that many weeks before the Grand Prix took place, and we walked up, we were like, this is impressive. Wow, they got a lot to do here still. So it's pretty neat to do that, and then see when we get there on the day, it was like, wow, this is
Yeah, but it was like it was working until
the hour.
You cannot do anything more now. We must sort of,
Move the truck.
Yeah, it was like that. Yeah, it was like that.
The cool thing is, I think that day when we came up to do the piece for Visit Roslagen is when Benga was here and Vari Ude and Rolf somebody. These guys just, and their words were exactly, I said, oh, what are they here for? And they just said, no, we just wanted to stop in and see how it was going.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. They just had stopped in when we came to do that piece, so it was neat. The talk, I mean, these are big name people in the sport, and they came to see what you were doing.
Yeah, that was quite fun. Exactly the same time.
Yeah.
Then you come nearly in the same minutes without anybody knowing.
They just showed up. And they were so casually dressed too. It was almost like we caught them on a Sunday afternoon. Hey, hi, we're just having our coffee. Don't disturb us.
It was cool.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
So we, I mean...
Yeah.
I
just need to... So you're staying in Rospiggarna to fix the GP, and you're in the board still. And then you're trying to do something else on there. Or is there more things that you're involved with?
Now at the moment I'm involved in everything, but I have staying on the board, and then do the marketing thing with the sponsors and everything, because I build up so many with the contacts, and of course it's not only me. There's a few others also who sell. So that's my plan for the winter. But of course, I'm open. I have my own company. I have it for years like that, so I could also do other things. I do the TV, you know, like now. So I'm not employed by Rospiggarna. So, and I get, but that's gonna be my winter job.
All right.
Yeah, then we'll see what's happened.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
About the TV job, how is that?
How you mean?
I mean, just have you done something like that before?
No, it's come. No, I've done it for 6 years now. So, but I just got the question. I know that the guy who is there. I've been doing some radio interviews, and they was looking for a new expert commentator. So I just got the call, and that was for Viasat. Are you interested? I think with the voice and Speedway. I think you could be one of a name. We have a few names. Do you want to come in? Yeah. Yeah, of course I come in. So then it was a test only, but that was only a few weeks before the New Zealand Grand Prix. I never done it before. I never done it TV before. So went in there. They put the old Grand Prix from Teurberg. I remember it, and speak. Okay, so that's how it come. Okay, that's okay. So then we did a deal for the whole 2013 season. But I remember still because it was New Zealand Grand Prix. It started something like 3:00 in the night.
Yeah.
And that was maybe not the best preparation because, of course, you're nervous to go straight into studio and sitting and speak. And I remember, because that's when I must leave like 1 o'clock to Stockholm because sitting in there, and I thought I must sleep in the evening, but I couldn't sleep because I was a bit nervous. So I just drove in there without any sleep, and from then, so it's been going on. But that's something I like. That's something I should want to do more of. But the TV is like that. I know the contract run out now from TV 10. I don't know if they're going to extend it or anything. So I don't really know that future. But if I could like sort of dream a little bit, and that's something I should want to work more with, that sort of things, because I like that bit to do. So I don't know. We see what future holds. So I don't close any doors at all. That's also what I don't want to be sort of. If you are team managers like that, you are sort of very up-booked. I want to be more free like that because I know it's going to be hard for me to just take a normal 7 to 4 job after all this. When you're thinking what. Yeah.
Well, when they talk about you as an expert commentator, they definitely got that because you've from a writer yourself to a manager and involved with so many things, they're getting a very broad perspective of a commentator in the studio, So then you can talk about the aspects of being at the tapes to dealing with the psychological part of dealing with writers to the actual skills of how do I put this all together, and they, you can understand why they want to have someone like you in there. There aren't a lot of guys.
No, I know. I know. So the good thing is. I'm living in the sport, and I know some of this don't do, but I'm living in the sport. I'm dealing like now sitting here with you, and every week I'm dealing with riders, so I get so much free for that, and also, so I love it. I look a lot at Speedway and rules and everything. Of course, you have so much free, and you know how it works. So that's a good thing. I know it's come into to do that job, and so. No, but I like that bit. It's a special buzz like that to, now it's like 100,000 or whatever it is, listen to you, and you go into like live, and that's a quite, of course, then after a few minutes you are like this sitting and speaking. But in the beginning, first year, you was quite nervous, and you could feel you didn't maybe speak out as you do now. Now you can even joke sometimes, but you know how it is. With everything you do, you get sort of...
Is it lonely in the studio, or do you get commentators, or do this, do that, or is it?
You get of course normal. Like now, this is quite difficult. I was in Målilla as an expert, but the head commentator, he was sitting in Stockholm.
Oh,
yeah, and I got a few seconds delayed with the picture from went out, so I must wait a few seconds what I'm saying, and that's hard in the beginning. But now you get, I couldn't say, hit the tape because. What, you haven't seen it?
No.
Right.
Speedway, it happens 2 seconds is a lot. But you get information when you we go to advertising, 10 seconds left, or in the beginning they were sitting, some producer, to tell me, speak about that, why is he doing that, and why is he doing that, but not now.
No.
But I was doing it from Australia for a few years ago. That was quite funny. It was 8 seconds delay. Oh my God. And then I can tell you a funny thing. He was sitting in Stockholm, I was sitting in Australia, and because we have connection hours before.
Oh.
So we find out because we were checking how much delayed. Now I see the tractor pass that side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, now I see that. So I know I was 8 seconds. But then, this is funny, then I start to it was quite weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I must be 8 seconds after the heat. But then I start to play a little bit after the half of the meet. I can feel, like, what should I say? Lindbeck, I think he's going to try on the outside because I know already.
This is awesome. Yeah, like, damn, you're good, man. He's really
because I see him already pass on the outside. So I think in the next turn, we will see Lindbeck do a big on the board. Oh, and
if I was Lindbeck right now, I would be thinking like, I'm going to whip it around.
Watch out for Janowski, he's a good gator. That gate, then I already know he'll be. So I start to. So that was quite cool.
Micke, he can like see the future.
It was, but I couldn't do too much, but a little bit,
Yeah, sure. Yeah, but that's pretty cool though, because then like
it was so long delayed. Yeah.
Yeah, to sit there. I haven't done that much TV stuff, fear of things here and there. But I did one last year, Imola, when I was injured. I got to stand in there with Nigel and Kelvin and have the earphones on where you've got the live in one ear and you got somebody telling you what's going to happen in the next ear. That's not easy. When you're listening to everything going on, and then you got the guy in this ear saying, okay, he's going to do this, and him and Kelvin are talking there. So you got two different things going, and then you're going to talk. And then I think I had to turn one off because I said, I can't.
Because I have also Kelvin, if I want, on one channel.
So you can.
But I can listen to them a little bit, but not under because it's too much. So
yeah,
I know if somebody starts to speak in your ears when you're talking, it's very
sure.
So,
yeah, that's a lot of stuff to process at one time. So as cool as it is, it's like, wow, then you have more. I have way more respect for these good interviewers, these commentators now, because they've got this going on, they got the boss telling them, and they got someone else talking to them, and they're looking at you just talking like there's nothing wrong, like there's nothing going on. You're just going, that guy's got like full chaos in his head right now.
But it's quite when you're two like that, because we always have some subject. If it's a long delay, like now we have to speak like 1.5 hour probably at Målilla, but we have subject, and I come into various things. Then it's quite easy. It's like we're sitting in now. That's quite funny if you have time. But I must tell you about this speaking because I've been doing a few other things. I went to Swedish Junior Final. It was something. Svem have the web play. They're going to show the Swedish Junior Final last year. So Tony asked, "Can you do it?" Because I know, no, not really. I'm busy. Oh, please, come on. Can you do it for us? Do the commentary. It's only you. Okay, so I went up to Avesta by myself, and I write down like piece of A4, like full that I can have little info. But sit to speak by yourself. It's big different when you are two. Yeah. So I started the meeting and it was crashes, some airbags, so it was like a delay for half hour. So that paper was done in a few minutes. So what should I say to myself? And said, no crowd. I couldn't point out any ex-riders. I said, there is an ex-rider, I remember.
Oh, man. Yeah.
That was not, I didn't feel good. I feel like, I think we put some out. Meeting come back in 20 minutes or something. To sit and speak by yourself, it's not easy.
You're like talking to yourself, right?
Talking to yourself, and you get no answer or nothing, and you must find something to speak about. You can speak yourself through a heat when something happened, but this, that was difficult. This was not good.
Like,
then you feel this was not good, but
right?
Yeah.
You have to develop like an alter ego guy that you can talk to.
Yeah.
You go like this. You're just talking, I was just talking to myself, and then I said to myself,
I think it's.
Take your hat off.
I think the meeting was like 3.5 hours or something like that.
Some of those kids' meetings can go long too when there's the crashes and they're fixing things and they say, all right. And even when I've been with Wilbur to some of the young ones, you think, man, I thought our races took some time. You know?
But they all can be so. No, but I enjoy that bit, even if it's stressful to work at the club, everything, and then do this TV also. But that's something I enjoy it and still. And then I also sometimes feel Saturday because we do most of the meetings from studio in Stockholm, but we go to some Grand Prix. But then I also sometimes you should appreciate. I'm quite privileged. I get paid to go and speak Speedway that I love, I should sit in the sofa anyway. So if you think like that, so
Yeah.
Good thing.
yeah, then it feels easier.
I can see that.
Well, Michael, thank you for joining us. This has been entertaining. It's been educational. It's been inspiring, and it's a lot of information, man. So we wish you well, and
thank you.
Everything you do in the future.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was nice to come and.
It's always hard to get people together, and you took the time to actually come here too.
Yeah, it was perfect and was quite short notice, so it was, but
really
it was good.
It was great. Yeah, thanks again, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, good luck for getting that retirement on the gold.
Yeah.
I hope we get to join you there some point, but we'll see. Long way to go.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to Real 45 with Stefan and Greg Hancock. We vibe out and have real talk, so tune in and check this out. Yeah, today is a new day. Let's seize it now and get hyped. We talking about our careers, our family, and just life. Yeah, share my story with you. Inspiration like every day. Real 45, we gon' keep it live. I keep episodes on replay. Hey, Real 45. Yeah, Real 45. Show them how we do it, man. Yeah.